Welcome back with my review of the new Rolling Stones album Hackney Diamonds. Came out 1 week ago. I pre-ordered it, but it was just delivered to me today. So here's my copy, vinyl copy. It's the green vinyl. Yeah, of course, looks nice. Yeah, it just was delivered to me like 1 hour ago. So I haven't really listened to the vinyl itself yet. But of course, I had some days now to listen through Spotify, which I don't really like. Spotify. If I'm honest, I hate listening to music via Spotify. But my overall verdict of the album is. Yeah, it's in my opinion it's better than Bigger Bang and also better than Bridges to Babylon. It's not quite as good as Voodoo Lounge. I think it's about as good as Steel Wheels, and it's definitely better than two of my least favorite Stones records. So I'm going chronologically back in time. Dirty Work and Undercover of the Night. But to be honest, I think the Stones haven't really made a really great or really very good album since Tattoo You. I think after Tattoo You, it was an album of leftovers from the 70s. So I would say after the 70s, I don't think the Stones really had a great new album. I think Voodoo Lounge is the best of the post-Tattoo You albums, but that's just an slightly above average album to me. So the new album, I would say, is an average album. It's not a bad album, and Bigger Bang, Bridges to Babylon, those dreadful 80s albums, I consider those albums kind of bad albums. So it's better than it could be. So in a way, I'm relieved that it's better than I almost anticipated. But yeah, it has kind of highlights, but it also has some lowlights. The first single before the album was released, Angry, I thought that, yeah, on first listening, I thought that's I shouldn't say a great song. I should be careful with what I'm saying here. I thought it's quite a good song and like a return to form in a way. But it's nothing special, it's really a Stones by the Numbers song. It's a song that an artificial intelligence could have maybe has written for the Stones, but it's okay, and the second song they put out before the album, the song with Lady Gaga, it's so new, I still have to look at the tracklist, Sweet Sounds of Heaven with Lady Gaga and Stevie Wonder. That was really a great song, and that was really something where I thought maybe this is even better than Voodoo Lounge. Maybe this is going to be finally the best album since Tattoo You. But I have to say, Sweet Sounds of Heaven is one of the two really great songs on the album. There's one more great song, and as a big Beatle and Paul McCartney fan, I'm happy to say the best song in my opinion, alongside Sweet Sounds of Heaven, is the one with Paul on bass. Bite My Head Off, which kind of reminds me of the song Liar by the Sex Pistols in a way. And I think, Bite My Head Off, the production on this song, if the whole album would have had a production like this song, very raw, very direct, punky, live feeling, very gritty, almost like Exile on Main Street kind of feel. If the whole album, with those songs on that album, would have been produced like that, would sound like that, would have that spontaneity and freshness, then I would really like the album. Then I would say it's definitely better than Voodoo Lounge and maybe almost as good as Tattoo You. But there are two songs that sound that dirty like that. Like I said, Bite My Head Off, and the last song, a cover of the song the Stones named the band after, Muddy Waters' old blues song, Rolling Stone Blues, is also recorded that way, that very rough, dirty way, and you know, what a great album that would have been with a production, with a lo-fi production like that. But the whole album, apart from those two songs, has a kind of a glossiness, a kind of a tries to be modern, but in doing so sounding very sterile, very, you know, in some places it really sounds like an artificial intelligence has enhanced some of the sounds, especially Mick's voice. You know, on the one hand you could say, wow, he sings as good as in the 70s on this album, almost as good as in the 70s. But you know, it also makes you think, you know, Mick was always the Stone that was most interested in new technology and integrating new technology into the Stones' music. You know, I guess it's possible that there was some artificial intelligence enhancement done to his voice, and I don't know for sure about that, but he sounds, you know, he sounds too good, you know. It doesn't sound like an 80-year-old. I think I would find it more comfortable if he would sound his age. But it's something is odd, something's weird about his voice on that album. And musically, some of the songs, especially in the middle of the album, songs like Whole Wide World, Dreamy Skies, Mess It Up, those are the middle bits. You know, they don't take any risks. Okay, you don't really expect the Stones in 2023 to take any risks, but again, on the song with McCartney on bass, they took some risk, I would say. But those songs are really very play it safe. Stones songs, they sound like a mixture of a typical, what you would expect a Stones song at this day and age to sound like, but also with a sort of like modern mainstream country pop music, which is, you know, a terrible genre in my opinion. Yeah, it's not good. It's never a good sign when the Stones sounding clean and you know, in this case even sterile. So those are kind of lowlights that prevent this album from, you know, from being any better. The songwriting is, you know, there's some good good again. Should I say good? I think the songwriting overall is average, and there are two or three clunkers, you know, below average songs. On the one of the other few songs that I kind of like is "Live by the Sword," but maybe also for kind of romantic, nostalgic, sentimental reason, because this is probably not probably. This is definitely, I would say, the final recording of the classic lineup, you know, not the original lineup, because Brian Jones is no longer there, but of the you know, the classic lineup of the of 60s, 70s, 80s Stones, because Bill Wyman, after not having played with the Stones for decades, plays on this song, and it's also one of two songs on this album where Charlie Watts still played the drums, so you have the classic lineup of Mick, Keith, Ronnie. You know, Ronnie's really not that classic, but you know, he's in the band for over 40 years, so you can call it classic. Bill and Charlie, so Bill and Charlie are the rhythm section on that song, and so maybe I like it because of that, but I also think, again, it's like the McCartney song and Rolling Stone Blues. It's the third of three songs that don't have this very sterile, slick sound to it, and I kind of like that. So all in all, it's an okay album. It could have been worse, let's put it that way. And the packaging, you know, the front cover is awful, like often the Stones album covers, I have to say. But overall, the packaging is nice, you know, especially if you have the colored vinyl and also a nice inner sleeve. So yeah, it's okay, but you know, it's definitely not as good as the last few albums by artists like Bob Dylan or Paul McCartney, I would say. But it's better than the last releases of Ringo Starr, let's put it that way. Yeah, that was it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.